Sawubona mngani, welcome to Zulu Lessons with Thando, the place for modern conversational Zulu language lessons. Take my course on zululessons.com. That's one word, zululessons.com. Mngani, let's learn from a story. The story is titled Owami, My Own. It's written by me, Thando, Thabo, illustrated by Vuyelwa Matsane. Owami, dedicated to Vuyo. Ngingu owami. Nangu umama wami. Igama lakhe uNthando. Nangu ubaba wami. Igama lakhe uThabani. Nangu mina. Igama lami Owami Nyathi. Nayi inja yami. Igama lenja yami uKhemani. uKhemani unoboya obumnyama nobumhlophe. Nazi izimbuzi zami. Amagama ezimbuzi zami uKhwela, ngoba uzama ukugibela yonke into. Noyeka, ngoba uthanda ukweqa amasango nothango. Nazi izimvu zami. Amagama azo uLala noLele, ngoba zilala njalo. Nazi izinkukhu zami. Ngithanda lesi sikhukhukazi kakhulu, ngoba sihlala sihamba nezingane zaso, amachwane. Izikhukhukazi zisipha amaqanda amnandi. Ngiyabonga zikhukhukazi. Wena ungubani? The English translation of each line in the story. I am Owami. Here is my mother. Her name is Thando. Here is my father. His name is Thabani. Here is me. My name is Owami Nyathi. Here is my dog. My dog's name is Khemani. Khemani is borrowed from the English phrase, come on. Khemani has black and white fur. Here are my goats. My goats' names are Khwela, because he tries to climb on everything, and Yeka, because she likes to jump over the gate and the fence. Here are my sheep. Their names are Lala and Lele, because they sleep all the time. Here are my chickens. I like this hen the most because it is always walking with its babies, the chicks. The hens give us tasty eggs. Thank you, hens. Who are you? In this exercise, we will be answering a few questions from the story. If you haven't learned how to ask questions in isiZulu, please take the time to watch those video lessons so that you can know how questions are phrased in isiZulu. Let's begin. Umbuzo wokuqala. Ubani igama la mama ka Owami? Looking at this question, what's the question word itself? The word ubani. We've seen this many times. We have seen this when we introduce each other and we say, my name is so-and-so, igama lami uThando. And then we ask, what is your name? Ubani igama lakho. Now, there is that phrase, ubani igama la. And then it continues to say, La mama ka Owami. So what is the name of Owami's mother? Now, Owami did tell us what her mother's name is in page 3 of our story. Nangu umama wami, igama lakhe uNtando. Igama lakhe uNtando. Owami has told us her mother's name. If you have not learned possessive pronouns in isiZulu, please do take the time to learn that. The link is in the description box. Now, let's answer the question. Igama la mama ka Owami uNtando. Owami's mother's name is Thando. Umbuzo wesibili. Obani amagama ezimbuzi za Owami? What's the question word here? Obani amagama ezimbuzi za Owami? The question word is at the very beginning. We see that we have bani, which is who is, but the prefix has changed from u that we had in the first question to o. Now, if you think about that, where do we see that? We see this in class 1A, where a noun is singular, it has the prefix u, and then when it is plural, it has the prefix o. So here we are being told that we are already, that we are going to be getting people's names here. Or should I just say names, since we are being asked about the names of goats. So Obani, who are they, right? This is me directly translating this here. Who are they? And then we hear what they is. Amagama. So who are the names is what you would literally translate it to, but really we know in English you don't say that. You say, what are the names? Ezimbuzi za Owami, of Owami's goats. So Owami told us about her goats in page 5 of the book. Nazi izimbuzi zami. Amagama ezimbuzi zami ukhwela ngoba uzama ukugibela yonke into. Noyeqa ngoba uthanda ukweqa amasango nothango. So now we know the names of the goats are it's Khwela and Yeqa. We can then say this now like this. Amagama, we are taking this now from the question. Amagama ezimbuzi za Owami ukhwela noyeqa. Amagama ezimbuzi za Owami ukhwela noyeqa. So we have used the question itself to answer it. So the only thing that we have omitted here is the question word. That is the only thing we don't want to use when we are now answering. So the names of Owami's goats are Khwela and Yeqa, is what we are saying in English. Umbuzo wesithathu. Anjani amaqanda ezikhukhukazi? Anjani amaqanda ezikhukhukazi? What's the question word here? The question word is the very first word or phrase of this sentence. The part that we know here, that we recognize as a question, is njani. The prefix will soon figure it out, but let's look at njani. We've seen njani before. We've seen njani when we say, how are you? Unjani. Did you hear that? unjani. We are starting with you. And so here in this question, the question starts with a. So what are we referring to here? We are referring to the noun amaqanda. So amaqanda, their subject concord is a. So anjani amaqanda. That's that a. We will then apply it as a prefix to the question njani. So here we are saying, how are the eggs ezikhukukazi of the hens? Well, Owami does tell us about that. In page 7, she says, izikhukukazi zisipha amaqanda amnandi. So she's actually telling us how they are, that the eggs are tasty or the eggs are delicious. Amaqanda amnandi. So this is how we'll then answer. Amaqanda ezikhukukazi amnandi. Amaqanda ezikhukukazi amnandi. So the hen's eggs are delicious, or you can also say tasty. Umbuzo wesine. Uthango leqhwa ubani? Uthango leqhwa ubani? We could also put this question like this. Ubani oweqa uthango? So let's go back to the story. Here, our question word is at the end of the question. Uban, we know that that is who. So now we want to know what we are speaking of here. Uthango is the fence, and the verb eqa is to jump over. So leqwa, so uthango leqwa ubani, who jumps over the fence? Well, it was one of the goats for sure. So let's go back to page 5 of the story. The answer is here on page 5, the second half of the last sentence. Noyeqa ngoba uthanda ukweqa amasango nothango. So it's yeqa, who likes to jump over the fence. Now let's answer our question. We need to then say yeqa is the one who jumps over the fence. Or we can say the fence is being jumped over by yeqa. Mngani, I can improve your Zulu language skills, but what I cannot do is improve this channel without your help. Please subscribe. So let's start with the latter because it uses the verb in the same conjugation as the question. Uthango leqwa uyeqa. Uthango leqwa uyeqa. So the fence is being jumped over by yeqa. If you have not learned, Mngani, how to use this extension of the verb, the WA, please look for the link to that video in the description box. Uyeqa oweqa uthango. Uyeqa oweqa uthango. So that uyeqa, we are saying it is yeqa who jumps over the fence. We are saying oweqa. We are using the verb yeqa, or to jump over, as an adverb here. So describing the action that is being done by the subject of the sentence, yeqa. Umbuzo wesihlanu. Bunjani uboya benja? Bunjani uboya benja? The question here, The question word itself is njani. We see that the very first word there is bunjani. Now, we know that we have to have conjugated this to match with the subject of the sentence. And we are talking about uboya. That's the subject of the sentence, uboya. Uboya, its subject concord is bu. So that is the subject concord we will then use with our question word. Bunjani. Remember how we say, how are you? Unjani. So here we are saying, bunjani. How is the fur of the dog? So bunjani, uboya benja. Let's go back to where Owami talks about her dog. She tells us about her dog in page 4, where she says, ukemani, unoboya, obumnyama, nobumhlophe. Ukemani, unoboya, obumnyama, nobumhlophe. So Kemani has fur that is black and white. Now we want to be able to say the dog has white and black fur. Inja inoboya obumnyama nobumhlophe. Inja inoboya obumnyama nobumhlophe. Umbuzo wesithupha. Ubani obongwa u-Owami? Ubani obongwa u-Owami? There's our question word at the very beginning, ubani. So we know we are going to have to give a name here. Ubani, who. Obongwa, who is thanked by. There is the verb, it's bonga, but we've put in the extension, impambosi, yokwenziwa, so that WA at the end of the verb, bonga. So now it is bongwa, to be thanked. Owami. So who is being thanked by Owami? Well, we have already seen that part when we were talking about the hen and the eggs. Owami says thank you to the hens. Here it is on page 7. Izikhukhukazi zisipha amaqanda amnandi. Ngiyabonga zikhukhukazi. Ngiyabonga zikhukhukazi. So she's talking to I almost said to the skukhukazis. So anyway, she's talking to the hens directly as though they can hear. So ngiyabonga zikhukhukazi. She doesn't put I of izikhukukazi at the beginning of this noun because she's talking to them directly. So in second person. If she was talking about them, she would say izikhukukazi. Just like if I am talking to you and your name is Bongiwe, I wouldn't say ngiyabonga ubongiwe. I would say ngiyabonga bongiwe. I would lose that u prefix because I'm now speaking to you directly. So now, to answer our question, ubani obongwa u-Owami, we could say it's the hens that are being thanked by Owami because we want to use that same verb conjugation for the answer as well. So, izikhukukazi zibongwa u-Owami. Izikhukukazi, do you hear that? The noun itself. Izikhukukazi starts with I-Z-I, I-Z-I. And so then the subject concord for that noun is Z. So that is the one that we will attach to our verb here, which is bongwa. So now we will then have zibongwa, and then who is thanking them? Owami, u-Owami. Someone might want to be even more formal and say ngu-Owami, but This is conversational isiZulu, so we won't do that. So the hens are being thanked by Owami. Moving on to umbuzo wesikhombisa. Ubani isibongo sa Owami? Ubani isibongo sa Owami? The question word is at the beginning of this sentence. Ubani, which is who? Isibongo, we loosely say isibongo is a surname or last name, but really in isiZulu, it's more than that. We'll cover that in another lesson. Isibongo, let's just say it right now, a surname or a last name. Sa Owami, of Owami's. So what is Owami's surname, or what is Owami's last name? Well, she tells us the answer to that question in page 3 of the story, which is Igama lami u Owami Nyathi. She says, Igama lami u Owami Nyathi. So now we know what her surname is. U Owami Nyathi. Her surname is Nyathi. Owami's last name or surname is Nyathi. Now let's say it in isiZulu. NgesiZulu. Isibongo sa Owami uNyathi. Isibongo sa Owami uNyathi. Umbuzo wesishiyagalombili. Babizwa ngani abantwana bezikhukhukazi? Babizwa ngani abantwana bezikhukhukazi? Let's look for the question word. The question word is the second word of this sentence. Ngani. We've seen nga before, and the use of nga in isiZulu could be translated into English as by. So, and also on, when you're talking about the days of the week or time. So now, nga we know is by, and then the ni is what. So ngani, so you could say by what, or we can just simply say what. Here we see that we have abantwana as the actual subject of this sentence. And so that aba is then the one whose subject concord we will be using. So now we say, babizwa ngani abantwana bezikhukhukazi. So, abantwana bezikhukhukazi, Owami tells us what they are called, just there before she tells us what the sikhukhukazi give us. She says, ngithanda lesi sikhukhukazi kakhulu ngoba sihlale sihamba nezingane zaso, amachwane. So we hear here that the babies of the hen are called amachwane. Ichwane, one chick. Amachwane, many chicks. So now we're going to answer this though in a full sentence, not just one word, because we could simply say amachwane, chicks, but I would prefer that you learn how to say this in a full sentence. So we're going to take this full sentence, of course, from the question itself. We'll use almost the whole question and just leave out the question prefix or suffix here, which is ni, what. So here we go. So the answer in English is then, the children of the hens are called chicks. So let's say that in isiZulu. The children of the hens, that's abantwana bezikhukhukazi. They are called babizwa chicks. In English, you'll just simply just go on straight and just say chicks. But in isiZulu, you then need to say by and then say the name or the word. So that by that we are going to then use is then that nga. And then, of course, say amatwani. But putting together that nga and amatwani would give us two A's. So we must blend those A's to one A. And now we have ngamatwani. Abantwana bezikhukhukazi babizwa ngamatwani. And I hope you did also notice that we use two different words for children. In the question, we said abantwana, and in the story, we have izingane. So both of those mean children in English. Umbuzo wesishiyagalolunye. Kungani izimvu zibizwa ngolala nolele? Kungani? That's the question word. Ngani by what? Now let's look at it again. Kungani. What is it? Is how you would directly translate this. This question word is why. Kungani izimvu zibizwa ngolala nolele? Why are the sheep called lala and lele? Well, it's because they were sleeping. I remember here in page 6. Amagama azo ulala nolele ngoba. Listen to that word. Ngoba zilala njalo. Zilala njalo. Now let's go back to our question. The question is saying kungani izimvu zibizwa ngolala nolele? So we now know the answer. To answer a why question, we then say because. So our because in isiZulu is ngoba. Ngoba zilala njalo, because they sleep all the time. We could also say this in a fuller sentence and say the sheep are called lala and lele because they sleep all the time. So we will then take that whole first part straight from the question. Izimvu zibizwa ngolala nolele ngoba zilala njalo. Umbuzo weshumi. Lithini leli bizo ngesingisi? Uboya. Lithini leli bizo ngesingisi? Lithini is our question word here. The question suffix here is ni at the end of this first phrase. Lithini. That ni is what? Now, let's look at the whole phrase here where it is attached, because we know that the suffix ni is always attached to the end of the verb. So the verb here is ti, and the subject concord used here is li. So this verb is to say in English. So what does it say is the question word here. And then let's look at what this it is. Leli bizo. Oh, ibizo. Ibizo being a word or noun. So what does this word say? Ngesingisi in English. Uboya. Uboya. Look in your dictionary. Which dictionary are you using? Are you using Google Translate? If you're using Google Translate, you could then, of course, find that uboya is fur. If you're using the Baba Nyembezi and Mr. Dent's dictionary, you will also find that uboya is fur. But you would have to look for uboya under B, taking out the U. And then you'll find it under B in that dictionary. If you're using the Oxford Dictionary, you'll have to look for the full or complete word, including that prefix u. So now that you know what the question is here, then I would like you to answer the question in the comments below. Mngani, thank you for watching. If you found this lesson helpful, please leave a comment. Don't forget, you can take my course at zululessons.com.